Solomon Kane, The Serpent Ring, issue number 3 from Tyne Comics. So we start off this issue with Solomon Kane and his group flowing down the river on a boat. So yeah, they've met up with Goncalo, the priest, who is actually a snake man in disguise. They met up with Mbondu, he's a native who has converted to Catholicism because of Goncalo and his mission. So they're searching for the Serpent Ring, and the father and Mbondu are guiding them down the river. And we see that there is some antagonism between Zarza and Mbondu. Zarza kind of sees Mbondu and his people as savages, and of course, Mbondu takes offense to that. Then they get attacked. And they get attacked by Mbondu's people, but these are his people who didn't convert to Catholicism. So a lot of Mbondu's people, some of them converted and started, working under the mission, and then others decided to not convert and keep their old ways of life. And so those non-converters are attacking with arrows, and they have killed 2 of the men on the boat. When Zarza is like, go after the one with the headdress. He's the leader. So they shoot the leader and kill him, and the rest of the men give up after that and run away. And Mbondu gets pissed off because he's like, you killed my chieftain. And Zarza just kind of brushes him off. He's like, they killed 2 of ours. I just solved the problem. I can solve you if you want as well. Basically threatens to kill Mbondu, but they're able to stop the fight. During this, Nico gets shot with an arrow. So we have Diamanta wrapping his shoulder, and then he puts the moves on her, but she completely brushes him off. I'm hoping this doesn't go anywhere, in the sense that we see that Zarza and Nico have the hots for Diamanta. Diamanta doesn't want anything to do with them, but because this is a period piece, you know what happens in period pieces a lot. We get the essay route. I'm hoping that doesn't happen. That's one thing I absolutely despise about period pieces. I love historical movies, like movies set in medieval times, movies set in Victorian era, movies about pirates. Just any period piece, like, they're cool. I love them. The problem with them is that they always have to have women being essayed in them. Every single time. Like, one of the first things, like, when someone tells me, oh, you got to check out this movie or this TV show, I'm like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. The first thing I do is I always go to IMDb, and then I scroll the parental guides, and I look to see if there's any of that in there. Because that's one subject I can't deal with at all. I can deal with a lot of stuff when it comes to fictional stories. I can't deal with that. It's a subject matter that I refuse to read. It's a subject matter that I refuse to write. For anyone who's unfamiliar with me or my channel, this is just something I do as a hobby. My professional life is I'm a screenwriter. I write movie scripts. I also do like TVs as well, but mostly movies. And I will write anything, any genre. I've pretty much written like every genre at this point. The one thing I won't do is I won't do any movies, any scenes that have assault in them in that way. I'm trying to protect my words because of YouTube, but essay, rape, that kind of stuff, I won't write any of that. It's just something that I just can't do. And I don't want to read anything with that in there. So I'm hoping that this doesn't go down that route. And the reason I bring it up so much is we'll get to that a little bit later. So we have the priest. He steps away from the group because he says that he's going to step away for reflection and solitary prayer, but it's really to communicate with the snakes. And Solomon Kane and Abramo believe that there's something wrong with the priest. Abramo straight up says that he believes he's a Shedem. And the Shedem is, Abramo explains, the Shedem is demons in the book of Psalms. It's actually in the book of Psalms and in the book of, I can never pronounce this word to save my life, Deuteronomy. They're basically mentioned like twice, and they're not even mentioned by name, as far as I know, or at least the versions of the Bible I've read. But pretty much they're described as false gods. They're false gods that people pray to. They're false gods that people like sacrifice their children to. But here they're referred to as demons in the Kabbalah. And there's different stories. I think the story that Abramo is giving is wrong. But in his story, he says Eve was not Adam's first wife. Lilith was the first wife fashioned by clay, but she was rebellious and lustful. and she coupled with the great serpent of the garden and with the archangel Samael, the destroyer and seducer. And for this, Lilith was cursed and became a she-demon. And the Shadem are born of two fathers, angel and beast. Shadem are shape changers and they can assume the form of man. But as far as I know, that's the story is that again, this is not from the Bible because Lilith isn't in the Christian religion. I think it's more of a Jewish thing, and I don't even know if it's a main Jewish thing or a sect of Judaism. But Lilith was the first woman. But the demons are from the union between Lilith and Adam, or another man. So it's not from the snake in the garden or from Samael, as far as I know. I mean, there's even one where God created them on the 6th day. And that's the reason they are the way they are is because God wasn't able to complete them before the Sabbath. I could be wrong. I'm someone like, I love reading different religions and stuff like that. But because I'm not Jewish, I read stuff here and there. Mostly I love reading stuff about like demons and monsters and stuff from different religions, different folklore. Like I freaking love mythology, folklore. Not saying that religion is folklore or anything like that. I'm just saying that I love reading stories like about different cultures. So I've read some stuff on like Judaism, some stuff on Hinduism, some stuff on not Gnosticism. I cannot pronounce that word for the life of me. But I'm not a believer in that of any of those religions, so I could be wrong. But I think they're basically taking the idea from that belief and they're kind of changing a little bit. But it's kind of cool the way that they change it here, where basically the snake people are born from two fathers. They're born between from the union of Lilith and the fallen angel Samael, and Lilith and the beast, the snake in the garden. We have this weird scene where we see the priestess Shah Kabet that we saw in the previous issue, and she's like dancing naked while a bunch of snake people are having orgies around her. Probably gonna have to blur the hell out of this panel, but yeah, eventually another snake shows up and shares their thoughts with her. Basically gives like a vision of what they saw, and she riles up her people to go after Kane and his men. Basically says that no one may wield the ring. The ring is the eye of the maker. It's sacred, it's forbidden, and it's even forbidden to the faithful. Not even the head priestess can wear it. No one can wear it. And so these men, these white people are trying to get it. We can't let them have it. And then we see a moment where Kane and Diamanta go out and they come across an elephant. And we see that Diamanta has a crush on Kane. She's starting to fall in love with him. There's like very strong hints about it. And Kane basically says, you know, you have to be careful about the other guys. You have to be careful about Zarza and Nico. I've sworn to protect you. She doesn't like come out and admit that she has feelings for him, but you can obviously tell. And it looks like he might know, but he's not bringing it up. And then once again, as they're on their journey, we see the two of them talking again, and we see Zarza and Nico discussing about the relationship between Kane and Diamanta, about how she's crushing on him. So again, going kind of back to my worries about what might happen in the future. Eventually they have a camp. They camp out for the night, and that's when they get attacked by the snake people. And so Kane starts fighting against them. The rest of the camp starts fighting against the snake people. The priest eventually reveals himself as a snake person, but he gets shot and possibly killed. He gets shot in the back by Mbandu. I wonder if Mbandu killed him. But people are being killed, including the snake people, including Kane's men. At one point, Kane gets bitten by one of the snakes, and Diamanta like kills it. And it turns out that this snake, like, it turns into a staff, which is like a mockery of Moses' staff. Snake people leave, but Kane has been poisoned. And Diamanta treats his wounds, and that's when Zarza reveals that Kane is actually a privateer. He's a pirate for hire, and he's the one that killed Diamanta's uncle. And Kane tries to explain himself, but she ends up leaving him behind, and the rest of the group leave. They try to go after Abramo, because Abramo was kidnapped by the snake people during the attack. So they're trying to find him. And yeah, Diamante abandons Kane, and Zarza and them abandon Kane and leave him to die. And while they're on their journey, there's a moment where Zarza tries to sneak into Diamanta's camp, like into her tent, and she pulls a pistol on him. So again, Like, I'm hoping he doesn't go down that route. I'm hoping this is like as far as we go, because I really don't want to read that kind of stuff happening. I guess we'll see. But Kane mentions that thing that Zarza doesn't know is that I have walked the valley of the shadow of death, and I fear no evil. God giveth me strength, God keepeth me alive, and so does hate. I am a vessel of wrath. I am the sword of deliverance, and I am coming. So Kane, he was left with his sword and pistol because Zarza believed that he was going to die. Basically, he's like, this was like a mockery. He left the sword as a mockery, and he left the pistol if you want to put yourself out of your misery. But you never want to leave Kane with a sword and pistol because he's Solomon Kane. He's a badass. Yeah, we have Kane now on his quest to find the group, I guess deliver justice to them, as well as protect Diamante and save Abramo. Yeah, I am glad that we kind of got this last little moment, but I wish that we had more moments with Kane and Christianity, because that's kind of his whole shtick. Kane is a Puritan. This whole thing is like his beliefs. And we have like a lot of different beliefs here. Like we have the Seth, we have the Judaism and stuff. We don't really seem to have much with the Christianity. The only time we have like Catholicism or anything like that, it's when it's, I don't want to say it's evil, but it's when you know, the mission burns down and it turns out that the priest is a false priest. He's actually a snake person in disguise. Like I want to see more of like Kane quoting scripture while dealing out justice, because that's kind of his whole shtick. His whole shtick is that, you know, he's a religious man. He's a Puritan. He quotes God and the Bible and stuff as he deals out justice. His whole sense of justice is tied to his religion. But it feels like his religion is kind of taking a back seat to everything else in this story. So I would like to see more of this. I mean, we did get it in the very last page of this issue, but I want to see more than just that. But all in all, yeah, this was fine. There's some things that, again, that are worrying me. I already talked about that. I'm hoping it doesn't go down that route. But I like this journey so far. I like the mixing of the religion with like stuff that's in, I guess, Jewish religion with stuff that's made up, you know, with the snake people and the whole like Seth. And there's even some Hyborian mythology mixed into this as well. So you have like Hyborian mythology mixed with different religions, and it's interesting what they've come up with so far. Artwork is good. I like the artwork. So yeah, I've been really liking this story. I have some faults with it. I've already talked about those, but it hasn't ruined the read for me so far. Like the faults are, they're small, and they can easily be overlooked because I like everything else that I'm reading. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the next issue is going to bring us. But there you go. There's Solomon Kane, Serpent Ring, issue number 3. Hope that you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.